So, the question is, did you guys pick up on all the clues? Because the truth of the matter is, Michiho is the departed. And Himeko is the other departed. And the doll is just a doll. Michiho and Doryu are the departed, not the female dolls. That's my final answer. Because get it? Two brides? I know my answer. Time to go to the clock tower. Everything will be clear there, whether I like it or not. The door to the clock tower is open. The departed is waiting for me up ahead. I can't even imagine what will happen next. I inhale the clear night air and breathe it out. Then I push the door open. Kinda would have been cool if you had access to Himeko's room and you could see, like, plants turning fungal there or something as your other clue.
Yoshi.
There's nothing but books and junk there now. A mannequin without limbs. What in the world? There are red handprints all over the wall. Right now it's only one, but don't worry, he's referring to something later. They're red mold, not blood. The same type of mold as on the notices. The tower wasn't like this before. The clock tower has changed. Is this also the work of the departed? What is this dreadful sensation filling the air? The power of the curse is overwhelming. I have to put an end to it quickly. So I'll show you the solution in a moment, but I'll let you guys try to figure it out. I'll wander about. This place is... It doesn't make sense. Why am I back in the room filled with handprints? Something beyond my comprehension is happening right now. Shit, this is bad. The curse is slowly eating my body. My body won't last if I don't put a stop to this right now. One arm-shaped clump of red mold is emerging from the wall. Why am I back here again? One. Two. So this is your last chance because I'm going to do the solution right after this. Why am I back here again? So 1, 2 was upside down, 3 was right side up, 4 was upside down, we're in room number 5, by the way. What's that? Something's rolling on the floor. This is... the broken remains of the female doll. But how? What happened? With the pain from the curse and the agitation from the surprise, my head's about to burst. Calm down, just calm your ass down. So I say to myself over and over again. Then I inspect the broken female doll. Her limbs are missing. Only her head, dress, and some broken pieces remain. When I look closely at the broken pieces, I see something resembling teeth marks. This is most likely from a bite. Was she devoured by the departed? The departed grew stronger after devouring the doll, which turned the lights in the special building red. It does make sense. I hear a faint voice. Is this the doll's voice? Take me. Eat me. What do you want to say? Eat me protect you from red curse. Her voice goes silent. What did the female doll say? Take me. Eat me to protect you from the red curse. I still don't get it. However, this doll mustered all of her remaining strength just to say that to me, so I can't ignore her words. I'd better take her corpse with me. Head of the doll. Red dress. The malicious disturbance that was happening in this place has subsided. It makes me feel a little bit better. Is this all thanks to this female doll? The departed harbors a massive grudge, while also longing to exchange vows with their groom. A document I found in M-Town's ceremony mentions that the etiquette and tools used all have great significance. I need to remember all of this in case some trivial thing can be used against the departed. The female doll's last words concerned me. She told me to bring her to protect myself. What did she mean by the red curse and eat me? Do I really have to? Nothing makes sense. So much is at stake. Who do I believe? Who do I doubt? Time's running out. I have to make a decision. The fragments of the female doll are scattered on the floor. Eat me to protect you from the red curse. What does it mean?
Yoshi.
I'm trying to show the hands. There we go. 5 arm-shaped clumps of red mold. And 5 was written up right side up, so here you go. Showdown time. I climb the ladder once again. Where will this ladder take me this time? Will I end up climbing the clock tower for all eternity without an exit? My mind conjures up numerous ominous predictions like this one after another. Except I know that it can't be how this ends. What the departed wants is a wedding ceremony, and a groom is needed for that to happen. I guess this ladder is like a vertical wedding aisle, and waiting for me at the end will be my bride. Brides. I find myself in a bright red room. The stone walls and floors are covered with red mold. There are strange plants growing on the floor that look like overgrown moss. A sight that you'll never see in nature. Did the departed cause this paranormal phenomenon? There's an altar in the middle of the room. It's an altar that would be the center of a Western-style wedding. This'll be the end of my walk down the aisle, then. I take the notice out and check it. In the red wedding hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding in school. Your beloved, the departed. In the red wedding hall, please call the name of your bride who is hiding at school. This place must be the red wedding hall. Then I should call the departed by the name they've been using at school. The very name I've guessed. I wonder if there's a reason why they want me to call them by their name here. Perhaps the departed wishes to have a groom that really knows every single thing about his bride. Everything, even their terrifying secrets. The departed, who has been hiding in Konohara Academy, your real name is... Michiho Kinukawa and Himeko Doryo. My voice echoes throughout the room. There is no answer at all, only the heavy silence filling the air. I expected nothing less of you, my dear husband. I believed in you. Two people appear before my eyes. Doryo, Michiho. I was hoping I was wrong. However, my guess was on the mark. The death mark? Dear husband, we've been watching you, while hiding in the school the whole time. Dear husband, we've tested you to see if you're worthy of being our real husband or not. Both of them sound dead. Their eyes are lifeless. They don't look like the Doryo and Michiho I came to know. You two are the departed's brides, the Mayumura sisters, Mikiko and Michiho. Right. Sisters was the key to unlocking the truth. The departed wasn't just one entity hiding at the school, it was two. I had proof that Michiho was the departed, which meant the person who received the curse at the same time would also be the departed. Doryo, bearing that mark on her face, is displaying the evidence that she's indeed the departed as well. Then, are you the ones who caused all those spirits to appear? That is correct. So the spirit I saw clinging to Doryo's back was fake. The groom only needs his bride. The bride only needs her groom. Everyone else is unnecessary. If they're allowed to keep using the dead to cause more casualties, the damage will be incalculable as their victims become new spirits. More and more people will die until the bride and groom are all that remain. That's the ending the departed desires. I have to stop this twisted madness at any cost. Dear husband, you have shown us your brilliant intelligence. You managed to learn the truth about us without being deceived by sympathy or fake deaths. Dear husband, you have shown us your impeccable lineage. Due to your bloodline, you were able to see, hear, and face the spirits. Dear husband, you have shown us your stunning personality. Having formed an emotional bond with us brides, you mustered up the courage to push through your fear for us. You're not like those weak, fragile, beheaded men or the coward who fled from the notice. You're different from those fake grooms. Dear heavens, you truly are our real husband. What are you going to do to me? We are the departed's brides and groom. Let us exchange our marriage vows in this red wedding hall, and spend our days in this Mushikabi chamber forever after. That is the happy ending we long for. But Mikiko, dear husband, looks delicious. I can't control myself anymore. Dear husband, can I bite you? Michiho's face changes before my eyes. How terrifying. Is this the departed's true form? Wanna bite. I wanna bite husband. Every time she speaks, the insects coming out of her mouth move their legs. What is that black liquid dripping from her mouth? Is that her saliva? Does she see me as food? I'm completely disoriented. My mind can't process everything before me. I feel like the last thin thread of my sanity is going to snap. Do not rush, Michiho. We must exchange vows first. Days, weeks, and months from now, our husband's body shall be dyed in Mushikabi's color. His organs shall be infested with mold, and he'll be filled with insects, making him beautiful. We need to wait until that time, alright? Wanna bite. Bite. What a troublesome child. Dear husband, you are a bad man, because you really do look delicious. Dear husband, can I bite you? The mark on Doryu's face starts spraying like mold, distorting her face. Is that unsightly look on her face supposed to be joy? I'm quaking in fear just looking at her. I can't even muster a scream. Want to bite. Want to bite. Want to bite, want to bite, want to bite, want to bite, want to bite. They can no longer control their ravenous hunger. The figures of two brides who longed for a wedding are no longer here. Instead, what I'm seeing now are two long-dead spirits who are warped by madness. Mikiko, Shall we bite him together? Michiho, let us bite him together. Doryu and Michiho look at each other. Then they hug one another. Their arms and legs intertwine, body pressed against body, sticking like glue. After repeating the same motion several times, the boundary between the two disappears and they have united into one. Look, dear husband. Look at us. We have consumed the scarlet marionette. And when the candlestick is relit, dear husband, am I beautiful now? Ugh. My mind and body are overwhelmed by fear, like I'm a toad being hypnotized by a serpent. The departed has gained a new form from the swirling red mold, a grotesque-looking demon coming out of a doll's bulging belly. I can feel her intense emotion as her 4 eyes stare me down. And that emotion is desire. The scarlet desire to devour their beloved and usher them to their demise. Can I? Is it even possible to save them? Dear husband, let me bathe all of you in the color of insects. A flood of insects issue forth from their mouth and assault me. If this keeps up, I'll be eaten alive by bugs. But I can't give up here. What should I do?
Yosh.
I hold up the dried-up frog to cover myself from the attacking bugs. The moment I lay my hand on the frog, I remember what the voice told me earlier. Frogs drive away bugs. This might work then. The departed sneers as the insects pour forth an attack. But then the insects disperse into the darkness to avoid the frog. This is the right choice. The departed shrieks in anger upon seeing the insects leave. They seem to be muttering something. What the heck are they saying? Bugs? No, is it mold? Just as I think that to myself, a sharp pain runs throughout my arm. Mold starts growing on my arm. So now they're going with mold, huh? I can feel the mold spraying throughout my body. I feel like vomiting. Dear husband, let me bathe you in the color of mold. I'll get consumed by mold at this rate. No time to sit around. I need to do something before this damn mold covers my whole body. Except I don't really have an idea of what I need to do. Let's believe there are clues somewhere, because if I don't do something, I'll be dead. That is such a bad idea, man. And then cover arm with mold? I don't know if they mean cover it with bleach. Or no, I think they mean cover it cover your arm with the mold with bleach.
Yosh.
Bleach is extremely toxic, so don't ever do that. Grabbing the female doll's head, I try eating a piece of it. Although I'd argue this is not a very good idea either. The moment I lay my hand on the doll's broken remains, I remember what the voice said at that time. Eat me to protect you from the red curse. A little bit nervous, I wearily take a bite of the female doll's head. It's an unpleasant sensation, like I'm chewing on a stone. Then a clay texture and taste start to spread inside my mouth. Making up my mind, I swallow it down. At that moment, both the mold and the unpleasant nausea disappear in an instant. This is the right choice. Apparently she was made of penicillin or something. The departed sounds distraught after seeing both the insects and the mold cleared away. Letting out a roar, they approach me. Are they gonna eat me now? Can I bite you, my beloved husband? Let me bite you. Here we go again. The departed won't ever be satisfied until they kill me. Although, if the Mayumura sisters are the departed, do they really want my death? The Mayumura sisters longed for a blissful marriage. Tell me, this bloody ritual can't be the dream wedding that you always wanted. What is it that you really want? Dear husband, is that their answer? They sound sad. Right at that moment, I hear something distant from the darkness shrouding my vision. Give it back. That voice just now. By give it back, do you mean... Shit, it's not working, huh? I'm pretty sure the voice just now was the departed's true feelings, but they've returned to being their mad monster form. Can I bite you? Bite, 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 bite. I guess you really can't communicate with the spirit, huh? But at least I've got a clue now. I might be able to save the departed soul using that clue. There's something I need to give back to them. It's probably something used in a celebration, given that this is a wedding. You can't have a bride without a dress. I carefully present the red dress to the departed. Holding the dress with both hands, I get down on my knees and offer it to the departed. I shall give you this dress. Vermilion thread, give. The departed mutters something with a smile. Did they just tell me to give them vermilion thread? I'm pretty sure this dress is made of red silk thread, so it should fit the bill. Is this the standard custom during a real wedding? Is this the celebration you want? The departed stares at me in silence. They seem somewhat bewildered. I guess this is evidence that I've stirred something in their heart. The right choice. The departed takes a slow, deep breath. Perhaps the departed longs to experience a traditional M-Town wedding ceremony. Remember the true vows you long for. The departed starts breathing heavily. Did that trigger a memory or something? Letting out a roar, they approach me. Can I bite you? Bite, 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 bite. Shit. Guess that's not it. The departed has gone insane once again. They're on the verge of devouring me. However, there's no way I can give up here. Think, damn it, there must still be something I can do. What the departed probably wants is a traditional wedding. I believe the groom usually gives something to their bride. But it's still not enough. What else should I do? So if you remember, they give the red thread, and then the ink to the teeth. I open the vermilion ink container to apply it to the departed's teeth. Dipping my finger in the vermilion ink, I call out to the departed. Let us exchange our wedding vows. Let me paint your teeth red. Dear husband, I feel like the departed isn't as deranged as they were before. Now is the time. I nervously extend the fingers I've coated with vermilion ink toward the departed. This is what's written in the chief priest's note I found at Mushikabe's shrine. At wedding ceremonies in M-Town, the groom is supposed to give the bride vermilion thread and paint her teeth red. All the M-Town brides are overjoyed to be on the receiving end of this traditional practice. Using what I've got, a dress made with red silk thread that would equate to giving the bride vermilion thread. And smeared red ink on their teeth aligns with painting their teeth red with lipstick. So if I were to do that now, I gently smear the vermilion ink on the departed's teeth, giving them a blessing. The departed, this is the blessing that I, your groom, give to you. My bride. After a long silence, their lips curve into a smile. Then, dear husband, for so long. For so long. For you. After muttering such a thing, the departed disappears with a cry that is oddly filled neither with love nor hatred. This is the right choice. This should be good, or is it? Did the departed regain their lost blessings so they can finally rest in peace? I really hope that's the case, however. A cold wind refuses to stop blowing through the gaping hole in my heart. Doryo. Michiho. For a while, I simply stand rooted to the spot, stunned and distraught. Then I think about the way those girls simply disappeared without regaining their consciousness. I remember the look on their faces when that happened. They were smiling for some reason. It's time to go. Now that I've managed to survive this ordeal somehow, there are some things that I must do. For one, we need to go get Mashita. Tell him to stop running through the forest, it's over now. As I descend, I notice that the red handprints on the wall have now vanished. I assume that all the other strange phenomena have ceased after the departed's departure. The clock tower is frozen in time. Bet the hands won't move ever again. Because the two students who wanted to make that happen for the student's 70th anniversary are no longer with us. I better get out of here. Yasuoka's waiting for me. The vengeful Mayumura sisters, who took Michiho and Doryu's bodies, were the culprits. They longed for a happy marriage with their chosen groom, even after death. While I can't be their real husband, I hope the red thread and lipstick were enough to fulfill their wishes. The girls in my vision were school-age. Were they able to wash away some of their resentment after experiencing their stolen youth? As a spirit doctor, I'd like to believe that I set them free from their curse. I hope their smiles before they faded is the answer to my question. I should let Yasuoka know how this case ended. But before we do that, since you're probably curious, so we have the sisters here. So Mikiko was the innocent older sister who dreamed of happy marriage. She was murdered during the ritual, offered to Kabigami. Mold was smeared all over her body as makeup, leading to her death. Her resentment created the departed. So Mikiko is Doryo. You can tell because of the mold mark on the face. And you have Michiho here. Innocent younger sister who dreamed of a happy marriage, murdered during the ritual, offered to Mushigami. Bugs were placed all over her body as makeup, leading to her death. And that's Michiho. Well, I guess their name sounds kind of similar, which helps you tell them apart. Himeko, Michiho. Welcome back, Light. The spirit that was possessing Yasuoka is gone now, and the light in the infirmary is no longer red. Is it over? Yeah. You did well. Where's Doryo? Light? Yasuoka looks at me with gentle eyes. She then follows with a slight, knowing nod. Things happened, I see. Just tell me whenever you're ready, no rush. I'm sorry. Want me to answer that? No, it's fine, I'll do it. Should be Mashita. Hello. Try being a bit more cheery, will you? This annoying tone and these harsh words. You're alive, Mashita. Yep, I failed to die. Lost my phone so I couldn't call. It took me a while to find a working public phone. Thank God you managed to escape. I was sprinting through that damn forest so hard I wanted to puke the whole time. They almost caught my ass several times, but luckily for me, they disappeared midway through the chase. They probably decided to go be with their husband rather than playing tag with me. How did it go on your end? It's over. The departed has vanished. Okay then. Did you save the departed? I think I did. Then why do you sound like you're not at a funeral? Perk the fuck up, man. Mission accomplished. You should be proud of yourself. Nobody thinks you're cruel for doing what needed to be done. Sorry, but I'm not really in the mood for that. Yeah, not surprised at all. I'm heading there now. Give me the details once I'm there. Bye. That was Mashita, wasn't it? I'm glad he's safe and sound. He said he's coming here. Shall we leave once he arrives, then? You should rest, Light. I'll contact the headmaster for you. Thanks, Yasuoka. I'm touched by Yasuoka's thoughtfulness. Since the last scene is still so vivid in my mind, I don't think I can deliver a professional report to the headmaster right now. By the way, Light, why are you holding on to that? Oh, you mean this? I hadn't even realized it, but I'm clutching something I picked up in the clock tower. It's the female doll's head and dress. They saved my life. There's no particular reason. Maybe I'm just feeling sentimental. The cold autumn wind continues to blow through H City. One night, the sound of a bell can be heard coming from an empty school. Sounds like someone wailing, lonely and sad. A funeral bell. For whom does it toll? For the victims of the case? Who were cursed to death by the spirits?
あるいは死人にその身を奪われた姫子と道穂、遠い過去に死人の嫁入りで生き絶えた哀れな娘たちか。いずれにしても死人を取り巻く一連の開示に終わりを告げる鐘なのかもしれない。だがこれで全てが終わりではない。仮にも怪異化を名乗るとすれば、魂の想念に触れたものとしてそれぞれの死をさらに深く見つめなくてはならない。たとえそこにいかなる恐怖や困難、痛みが待つとしても、あの日心に刻まれた印に、そして愛する者と亡き者たちに、柔らかな日が差すその日まで。
Chapter 7: The Departed's Wedding. So that was nice of them to translate it and everything for you. 62 pages. So, seeing eyes here and there, I'm wondering if this is supposed to be like alphabetical in Japanese order, because if it's actually in the order it was done, that's going to be a little painful. But yeah, had this been Kickstarted, you would definitely find my name somewhere in here. I'm definitely worried about the future of the series because it came out in an extremely interesting time. We have Final Fantasy VII Rebirth, Persona 3 Reloaded, and a bunch of other games that easily crowded it out. If not for the fact that I had this thing pre-ordered months in advance, I didn't even know it was coming out when it did. It's just I came home from work one day and it's right there before street date. So I wasn't really planning on this, and as a result I did drop literally everything I was doing to try to knock this out. I knew it was coming out this year, and yes, it probably was actually my most anticipated game of the year. You can probably tell because I don't cover Persona games on the channel or Final Fantasy, so... Is there a translation for this song, I wonder? I'm guessing this may be a different tier, perhaps. Black Bunny, reference to the first Death Mark, of course. So yeah, now that I think about it, there was no appearance by Bon at all. Or the reporter chick, I don't even remember her name. They referenced her at least, but Bon they didn't say a word about. And we're back to the school song. So none of these seem to have proper names. They're all either screen names, emails, account names, or something. Well, there are some that could pass for names now. Okay, one page left. For the last one, there you go. week has passed since that night. Konohara Academy hasn't changed much since my first visit, though this is only the calm before the storm. Even though the spirit has vanished, the truth and the havoc they wrought still remain. Weekly magazines and the like have been littered with articles about mysterious disappearances at an H-City school. It's only a matter of time before the press descends upon the school. When that happens, the students will lose their normality once again. But there's nothing I can do about that. I walk past the students and enter the school. Unlike my first visit here, the bell doesn't ring. Get your checkbook, old-timer. It's time to settle the score. Oh, you're here, Light. Apologies. I've been busy, quite busy lately, dodging my calls, I see. I've had my hands full with parents and police asking for explanations about the students who've disappeared. Though all I can do is tell them that I don't know anything more than they do. And so I get called an irresponsible headmaster. Quite a few people have gone missing in a short amount of time, yet we can't share what actually transpired. Being thrust into the limbo between reality and the spirit world, he's got a pretty tough situation. Sooner or later, I'll likely have to resign. Someone will be made to bear responsibility for these incidents. I've got no regrets, though. The case is solved, and I can hold my head high knowing what happened. Mr. Konoe. I've read your report. I feel absolutely terrible for Sakamoto, and I can't believe Doryu and Kinukawa are actually the departed. I have no intention of revealing the truth, obviously. It's not like that would allay the concerns of anyone. We shall consider them to be missing persons like Sakamoto and the others. That should be fine. The real versions of them are victims, too. Actually, I was curious as to why the departed pretended to be Doryu and Kinukawa in order to hide among the students. There doesn't seem to be a need to mingle with everyone here in order to simply find a husband. I don't know either. There are a number of things concerning the departed that still don't make any sense to me, such as why they were in the clock tower. Maybe you'll get a bit more closure about that matter if you read this. He proceeds to hand me a leather journal from the nearby desk. This journal belonged to my grandfather, the first headmaster of Konohara Academy. A relative found this at their home and sent it my way. I know now isn't exactly the ideal time for you to see this, but feel free to take your time looking it over. Thanks, I'll borrow this then. I guess that's all from me. But let me thank you one last time. I appreciate all your help, Light. You helped me save Konohara Academy. I also want to extend my sincere apologies for being harsh with you. No, you don't. Don't worry about that. I take cash. I know you were desperate to save both the school and the students. I'm glad you understand. That reminds me, Daimon will be here today. Why don't you go talk to him? Sure thing. I say goodbye to Mr. Konoe and leave the faculty room. Daimon has been waiting in the infirmary. Long time no see, Light. How are you feeling, Daimon? I think resting in the hospital bed actually did me some good. I'm feeling better. Well, better is relative for me. He's still got that lingering cough, but his voice is full of life. Seems like he's fully recovered. Sorry I had to abandon you midway. I ended up forcing everything on you, all the responsibility and emotional trauma. Many people died because of this case. It's a bit sad and lonely knowing no one will ever learn the truth besides those of us who were involved. True. Let us remember those who died at the very least. It's a cross that all of us who were involved in the incident will have to bear. Nevertheless, we live on, believing that we will save someone else another day. It's a remark Daimon said during Hanako's case. The suffering of a doctor who constantly has to face the grim reality of death. Despite that, he's still determined to save others. I comprehend the weight of those words a bit more now. I'll keep that in mind. Having the spirit doctor tell me that made me feel blessed to be a doctor. Say, Light, I hope you keep pushing ahead in your own way despite all the struggles that come. There's got to be someone out there who's just waiting for you to extend your hand. I finish my conversation with Daimon, say my goodbyes, and leave the infirmary. Then I head straight out of the school. I find myself at the front gate. School's been over for a while, so there are few students still milling about. Light! Hello. What are you doing here, Ai? Diamond told me you'd be here today. Looks like I almost missed you, huh? It's all because Sho keeps slowing me down. Shut it with your bullshit. You're the one at fault here. What's the point in making me dress like this, even though the case is over? The case is over, but we're still gonna stick out like a sore thumb if we wear casual clothes to a school. Plus, this is another good chance to wear the Konohara Academy uniform. You look good in that blazer, Sho. Yikes, stop it. You're giving me the creeps. I would have passed if I'd known it would be like this. Yeah, totally. I worked 7 days straight and I finally got a day off. Just want to lay on the couch and drink. Both of you complain way too much. Looks like I invited both of them here. Feels like it's been an eternity since we all saw each other last. I asked some of the others too, but apparently they already had plans today. Glad to see you're doing well, old man. Because you looked like a zombie when we were on that case. Is that so? You've got some bags under your eyes, though. You've been staying up late? You mean this? I've been doing some work at home. Sometimes I get too caught up in my work, and by the time I realize it, the sun's creeping through the blinds. You're still living that kind of life even after the case? You're one hell of a night owl. Rest is just as important as work, Light. Should we go and grab something good to eat? I like that idea. I know a good ramen shop that pile on the pork and green onions. Why ramen? Cake is much better, right, Light? No, You don't have to work hard today, right, Light? You're gonna collapse if you don't take a breather once in a while. And you're not good at that. Fine. In the end, I let myself be dragged to both a popular ramen place and a cake shop. I and Sho are as bubbly as ever, while Hiro chimes in occasionally with sardonic comments. Observing the scene in front of me, it feels like this is the first time I've been able to have a normal, ordinary day in quite a while. However, there's a strange feeling that I can't shake, as if I'm walking around in shoes that don't fit. I guess this is what readapting to mundane life feels like. Guess I'm just too used to having dark, unnatural forces inserting themselves in my life. I skimmed through the first headmaster's journal that Mr. Konoe loaned me. The stuff written inside is related to the female doll in The Departed. The first headmaster knew about M-Town's horrific ritual, The Departed's wedding. He apparently learned about it from a former M-Town resident. He wanted to offer condolences to the victims of the ritual and those who were claimed by The Departed's wrath. He particularly pitied the Mayumura sisters, whose dreams of a happy marriage were betrayed. Inside the clock tower that was built to celebrate Konohara Academy's 10th anniversary, he built a room as a memorial service complete with an altar where he offered a Western doll. That doll was the female doll in the scarlet dress. He got it from someone who dealt in spiritual items. It said the female doll was made to be an offering for a pitiful soul and had hidden spiritual power. Learning that, the headmaster believed the doll could soothe the souls of the Mayumura sisters. He then dressed the doll in a beautiful bridal gown. In his mind, he was being thoughtful to the sisters who had their matrimonial wishes twisted into a grotesque ritual. His love for antique things was probably what led him to choose the red dress over a now traditional white gown. The first headmaster may have thought he was helping, but romanticizing the tragedy of the two brides eventually led to this disaster. The deep-seated grudge of the Mayumura sisters remained in the Konohara area, and that grudge began dwelling inside the female doll. Eventually, the Departed was born. And that's where the journal ends. The first headmaster passed away after that. Perhaps the Departed's curse killed him as well. He set the events in motion and then, 60 years later, the departed appeared at Konohara Academy. No one can ever truly know how or why such things occur. We can only imagine and speculate. After the first headmaster's death, the female doll disappeared. It was taken from the clock tower, at least the part normal people could access. The place the doll ended up must have been the Red Room, somewhere only the departed could access. They were awaiting a new vessel other than the doll, one in which they could make their dream of a happy marriage come true. That replacement finally came after so many years. One summer break, 2 female students visited the clock tower. Those students were the real Michiho Kinukawa and Himeko Doryo. They were there for the clock tower renovation project to commemorate the school's 70th anniversary. The departed brought them to the altar room and then... they killed them using the curse of insects and mold, claiming their bodies and memories. The older sister Mikiko Mayumura became Himeko Doryo, while the younger sister Michiho turned into Michiho Kinukawa. Then they hid in the school, attempting to find a husband that was suitable to fulfill their wish for a happy marriage. The rest is history. The departed used other spirits and notices as tests for their groom candidates. The Doryu and Michiho had come to know were fakes. Everything was an act. Despite that, both of them looked and acted far too human. Their warm words, their gentle smiles, and innocence. Did they really need to go so far just to test me to see if I was worthy of marriage? Why did they do all that? This is just a hunch. But maybe when the departed stole Doryo and Michiho's memories, they might have noticed there were other ways to satisfy their deep, unrealized wishes. Doryo called that possibility love. The departed spent their days in the school trying to stay near their husband, having conversations, swapping smiles like any other youths. Born in a feudal town 100 years ago, maybe they never had the opportunity to experience that before. As a result, their love for their husband grew. This would have been something that they truly treasured. That might have been how they could act so naturally, protecting that glittering youth. Who knows, maybe they even wished they could just continue living in that way. Except they were spirits. They couldn't escape their sanguinolent ways. In order to fulfill their desire for marriage, they ended up choosing the spirit's path. Perhaps it's the only way they knew to get what they craved. Dear husband, for so long, for so long, for you. I wonder what the departed was trying to say at that time. Did it have something to do with love? Even their intense resentment disappeared just by imitating M-Town's traditional wedding. Was that also because of their love? If that's true, my strange life as a teacher and the time I spent with them was not so in vain. Because that way, the memories we made together are what ended up saving those girls. The departed. A terrifying spirit that killed a lot of people in the last 2 months. Though considering their grudges and wishes, they were also poor victims themselves. The terror and sadness that filled them, after learning both sides of the coin. I want to forgive the departed. I reach for my cup after that. Chugging down the liquid inside, I get up from my seat and check the time. The day has already changed. Late at night, guess it's time. Time to start working. I head to my room on the second floor, and then... Alright, all done. I finally managed to fix it. I was able to use the techniques I learned at the workshop I found when looking up information about doll care. Though it's fixed, her soul won't come back. This female doll saved my life. The departed's grudges moved from this doll to Doryo and Michiho. So who was the spirit inhabiting this doll? I have a hunch. It may have been the souls of the real Michiho and Doryo. Those two girls were brimming with spiritual energy, which is likely why the departed chose to claim their bodies. I have a hunch that their souls dwelled inside the doll after they were killed. The way the doll's appearance changed as the departed transformed might be evidence that the girls' souls were still connected to their bodies. So the doll was wandering around the school without their memories, not knowing what to do. Despite being in that confused state, their fear and resentment of the departed still remained. That's why they helped me. Still, what's the point of me fixing this doll? It's not like it'll speak again if it's mended. Plus, even if it were to talk, what useful information would it possibly have for me? As far as I know, the souls contained inside this doll belong to the actual Michiho and Doryo, not the fake versions who considered me their teacher. It's a pointless undertaking. I have a feeling it'll only make me feel emptier inside. So why do I keep doing this? I guess it's a form of prayer. It won't change anything, though I also believe that it isn't for nothing. I believe some souls will be saved if I do this. Hang on a little longer, you two. Mr. Light. And thus, Spirit Hunter has concluded. Female doll has been added to the gallery. Well, since they brought that up, why don't we go over there and check? But if you didn't really recognize the departed in the corner there, that being a wedding dress, that kind of clued you in on a few things. So if we go to the artwork, you can see all the stuff we've seen up till now. Huh. Seems there are 3 scenes that are still missing. I wonder what that could be. And we're missing 2 things here. For the spirits, you can see all of them. We have the epilogue. So this should be just the talking segment with the news. In case you were wondering. So yeah, we'll have to find out something about these 3 missing CGs, but that'll have to be a different video now, won't it? I'm the Hero of Light. Thanks for watching, and goodbye.